Your name's not down, you're not coming in.
Wait, so you've got everyone else in
Mate,
here.
I thought I'd come like a bit bouncer attire today. Do you know what I mean?
Let's come on to that. We saw a sort of a broadcast from BBC yesterday.
This morning. Yeah.
Stipulating that you are now part of the security team.
Mate, it's unbelievable. Look at the size of the bouncer in the middle of those. He's certainly a different weight. Thanks, darling.
He did look quite big in that clip, though.
Yeah, but I am big compared to Amir Khan, and I mean, I'm, they're weighing in at 10 stone 7. I'm like 7 stone heavier.
Should reporters be aware of who's who when they're commenting on videos?
Yeah, but let's not start like analysing it. It was just amusing. If you can't take your piss out of yourself for something like that, you might as well go home. Right. So, like that, Dan Walker sent me a message going, "I'm so sorry, we're going to correct it later on." I'm like, mate, don't worry about it. It's hilarious. So, extra promo, really. It's gone everywhere, isn't it? It's gone viral. So,
just see Carson Jones in the ring.
Yeah.
Then. First time you've had him back in his store for
always
a little while.
Looks the same, doesn't he? Always looks fresh. He's got a great team of people behind him. Tony Greco, who's a manager, I think down in Minnesota he's based. They love it. They love the challenge. They come. It's almost like they're trying to beat me as well as the fighter. Like the first thing he said to me was, "Another one of your kids getting bashed up." I'm like, all right, but it gives them extra motivation because as far as Carson Jones is concerned, beat Cheeseman, move on to some kind of bigger fight, maybe an international fight or some kind of title shot. So he's really motivated for this fight. Carson Jones isn't in. The reason I like working with and using Carson Jones as an opponent is he's not in a journeyman mentality. Do you know what I mean? He hasn't got that journeyman mentality. He's here to win. He's here to knock out the opponent, and he believes he's got the experience to do it. And listen, maybe he's right. This is a gutsy move by Tony Sims and Ted Cheeseman. I'd like to take the credit, but I don't, regardless of what people think, I provide options of opponents, and the trainer and the fighter and the manager or whoever will choose which one. They looked at Carson Jones, they said, this is a big test, this is one we believe we're ready for. And I like it because if Cheeseman is what we think he is and what we hope he is, he'll win and he'll move on to bigger things. If he's not, he won't beat Carson Jones. But at least we find out.
Super welterweight division is a great division domestically. You work with a lot of great fighters. Is Cheeseman, like I spoke to him today, he's won in these big fights 12 to 18 months. Is he good enough in your opinion to get to that level?
Well, when you talk about the domestic level, there's 2 tiers to the domestic level at 154 pounds. You've got Kell Brook, you've got Liam Smith, I guess you put Liam Williams in that bracket as well, and then you've got the brackets, probably Sam Eggington as well, and then you've got the bracket slightly below that, so you've got Ted Cheeseman, you've got Scott Fitzgerald, you've got even Anthony Fowler coming through that way, you've got JJ Metcalf, Cena Byfield, all those kind of guys. So that's the level at the moment Cheeseman's at, but obviously he wants to go on to that level. I mean, I was talking the other day, fights like Cheeseman against Anthony Fowler down the road for British titles and European titles, they're big fights. Fights like even Cheeseman against Sam Eggington in time, if he can get to that level. But this is the test. But Carson Jones, do you want me to stop?
Sorry about that, Ed.
Yeah, interrupted. You had to go and do another interview with someone who's important.
Doing a little bit of
and we've been watching Carson Jones and Ted Cheeseman, who's looking particularly sharp on the pads with Kevin Mitchell.
Okay.
Looking forward to it. And then obviously Reece Belotti's been in there. I think, I'm going to say something now, right, and people may laugh at this. And I was saying to someone the other day, I think Reece Belotti is one of the hardest punching featherweights in the world. That was it, really. Him and Ben Jones is going to be an absolute tear-up, and I think it's going to end inside 4 rounds.
Ben Jones fights, he comes forward, he likes to get involved, he's a scrapper.
That's a problem. To beat Reece Belotti, you've got to have power and you've got to be a great boxer. Jason Cunningham outboxed him until Reece Belotti got hold of him. So if Ben Jones comes in and tries to trade and mix it up, it ain't going to be easy.
Let's talk about the main event. Firstly, let's talk about the promo that was fantastic with Ted Cheeseman.
Terrible. I was just talking to Barney Francis from Sky. I said that promo was terrible. I said it was so bad it worked. Do you know what I mean?
I really liked it.
I'm not often wrong, but I was so wrong about this fight. Like, I knew it was a big fight, but I said, and mainly because the guys wanted so much money originally, that this is a York Hall fight. You know, this is a fight that rams out York Hall, and he just creates an unbelievable atmosphere. So, you know, when we're talking about 7,000 or 8,000 in the O2 on Saturday, and a build-up that has got everybody talking, it's incredible, and I'm really pleased for both guys. One, they're going to make a lot of money, and two, they're going to get the night, you know, because when you put it all on the line like this, you've got to make sure you create a night and an experience you never forget. When you look back at your kids and you say, I headlined at the O2 in front of 8,000 live on Sky Sports. But this is it for these boys. This is the step to become a star, a real star. The loser can go on, and they have my word that whatever happens to either guy in this fight, they will still get the opportunities, they will be built as far as we can take them in the game. But for the winner, when you create a night like this and an atmosphere like this is the route and the road to become a superstar. And either Lawrence Okoli or Isaac Chamberlain are going to be that guy on Saturday night.
The fans seem split, the boxing people that we speak to seem split.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying that if it'll be early, it'll be a Okoli.
Yeah, I think
if,
that's the,
if it goes late, they see Isaac outboxing a Okoli. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's the general consensus. I mean, you've got to understand, I think Isaac Chamberlain is a very good boxing brain. I think that he is technically very good. I think he's elusive, he's hard to hit. And the experience that he's had in his sparring as well. But don't forget, this is a guy who's been sparring Wilder, Usyk, of course, in his camp. Lawrence Okoli hits very, very hard. You know, I was talking to AJ about it last night, and this is, you know, when you've got a great fight, when you're debating the fight with boxing people. You know, and we was talking to AJ last night, and I just said to him, because obviously he's Team Okoli, and I just said to him, "You confident in your boy?" And he was like, "Yeah, 100%, 100%. And he was like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "I think this is a 50-50 fight." You know, Okoli can hit very, very hard, but he's got to hit Isaac Chamberlain. They're gonna trade, they're gonna engage. One thing that Isaac said in the build-up, which I agree with, is Lawrence has never been in deep waters as a pro. He's never been close to being in deep waters as a pro. So, and Isaac has. When his shoulder popped out against Wadi Camacho, he had to go like 8 rounds and battle on and win the fight. That was one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. So, I don't know, and I think they've got 2 good guys in the corner in Brian Lawrence and Ted Bamby, who I have a lot of respect for. But the truth is when you're in there and you're under those lights, and there's all those people in the O2, and it's 10:30 p.m. and you're live on Sky and you're walking out and you see Johnny Nelson, you see Anthony Joshua there, Tony Bellew on the commentary team, Adam Smith. Where's your head at? Where's your bum at? Can you, under the utmost pressure of the world watching, of your career in terms of being a superstar on the line, can you do it? Can you execute the game plan that you've been working on for 12 weeks? Or do you just lose your shit and have a tear up? I go for the latter. I think this is going to be Joshua versus White all over again. Hopefully with no one getting in the ring. Because sometimes you can have all the game plan in the world, but when you come together like that to fight and you're inexperienced, forget the Olympics, forget the World Championships, forget the trips to Russia, don't forget the trips to Alabama sparring and the Ukraine. That means nothing. What matters is when you come in that ring, some people buckle under the pressure, the special fighters thrive under the pressure, and I have no idea what they are going to do. I can't wait to see it.
What was Amir Khan's reaction after the press conference, after the cameras went away, when it was just you and him and the team and stuff? What was his mood like?
I think he was a little bit regretful, but at the same time he was like, sort of asked for, I guess, reassurance. Said like he pushed me too far. I said, fucking right, and all. I couldn't, you know, James. Again, I made this comment yesterday. Me and you, right? We couldn't punch our way out of a wet paper bag, right?
This is true.
If someone said that about your missus and your family, the game changes, doesn't it? You're gonna set about me and vice versa. So if you say that to a fighter, and I know they've got a responsibility, but what Le Greco was saying, well, you've already said this on social media, so what? But it doesn't matter. When you're sitting there and you're goading someone like that, he's lucky he never got chinned. I'm glad it was only a little bit of water.
Will the board get involved in that sort of stuff? Is it
Well, I
handbags?
think
Is it enough?
could be a letter, or could be a wrap on the wrists, you know. But no punches, they didn't touch him, you know what I mean? So, and I think anyone with any common sense would look at the comments and say, look, you shouldn't have done that, but blimey, fair enough. So tickets have flown today. I think it's going to be sold out hopefully this week in Liverpool. It's going to be a great night, and it's just added a little bit of spice to already a big return for Amir Khan.
Can you tell us a little bit about what's happening with David Price? Is there any sort of confirmation on the Povetkin fight? What's going on?
So David Price has agreed to the Povetkin fight. Povetkin has agreed to the Povetkin fight, and now the contract's with the team Povetkin just to wrap that up, basically. So I'm hoping, all being well, got a good relationship with World of Boxing, that this week, certainly, we will announce the Povetkin Price fight. And it's a mad fight, because on paper, you look at it and you say, Povetkin should just have too much for Price. But you know what? Boxing's a funny game. David Price can punch very hard, and he has a chance to completely gatecrash the world boxing division. He could become #1 in the WBA rankings. So good luck to him. Good luck to him for taking this fight.
I'll be back in 1 minute.
Oh, you got to go and do some more stuff.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, well, you got to do what you got to do, James. You got to earn your money. Don't worry about me.
Back in the game. Let's talk a little bit about the Price thing. Expecting confirmation.
Yeah, I hope this week. It's a really interesting fight. And listen, good luck to David Price. He has absolutely nothing to lose in that fight and everything to gain. But don't blink.
It's a risky fight for David Price.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, does it?
Very risky fight.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, because David's lost, to Hammer. He's now at domestic level fights. So this is an absolute shot to nothing. If he beats Povetkin, he puts himself in line for a world title shot. If he loses to Povetkin, he carries on at the level he's at anyway. So people stepping up and taking risks is all part of the game. But as long as there's a method and a strategy to it, and not just I'll fight anyone. This is a calculated risk where he has a chance to completely gatecrash the world heavyweight division, and maybe he doesn't even deserve it, but he's stepping up. And if he beats Alexander Povetkin, who would rule him out of a shot for the world heavyweight title? And that's not something you'd expect to say about David Price right now.
Tyson Fury tweeted yesterday that we can expect an announcement.
He has to announce.
Have you been working with him?
No. He's got some legal problems, I think, with certain promoters. I expect him to just put a dummy date out there, like today or tomorrow, because, well, it's a waste of time really. But so the Ring magazine belt, he has to announce a fight today, and he has to fight someone in the top 5 or very close to it, which he's not going to do. So ultimately, he's probably going to lose the Ring magazine belt, which doesn't. He's been inactive for so long. I don't think it makes a major difference to the landscape, but I do expect him to just give a date to get people off his back in the meantime. But I don't know. I haven't spoken to Tyson for a couple of weeks at least, and I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, look, I know that if we brought him back, he's going to make millions on millions, even for his comeback fight. So I hope whoever he goes with is going to be paying him multi-millions, because the plan for us would be to come back in a fight probably in May, and then have another fight, and then fight Anthony Joshua. That was always the plan, but obviously that's not a route he wants to take.
If he doesn't sign with you, is the Joshua fight still a window for that to happen? Or do you
obviously it becomes a lot harder because he's with another network.
Of course.
And that's not a case of, you're not making fight for the fans. That's just how it is, I'm afraid. It has been in the sport for years and years. So it doesn't mean it won't happen, but obviously there's a very clear route to fight Anthony Joshua our way. And a way that makes him millions en route as well. I guess the worry is that Tyson Fury comes back and doesn't look very good, and then lessens his value in that fight. But it's still a great fight, and again, genuinely, I hope he comes back. I hope he's happy and fit and well in his body and mind. And of course, we want to make the Joshua fight at some point, but our absolute priority is to win all the belts, and that comes via Parker and Deontay Wilder.
Quick rundown for the fights on Saturday. Give us sort of the rundown.
There's loads on the card. I mean, stuff that we haven't even. Paul Butler's fighting, going to be ticking over because he's waiting on Jamie McDonald's belt. Or
Charlie Edwards on the card as well.
Charlie Edwards is on the card. You've got Danny Dignam on the card. You've got Felix Cash, who I think is a real top middleweight prospect coming through. You've got Kamalia fight. He's fighting as well. You've got Nick Webb, the heavyweight. Who I think's a little bit of a sort of dark horse in the division, really. So
a bit under the radar.
What happened was Nick Webb got mandated to fight Daniel Dubois for the English heavyweight title. So I was working with Scott Welsh, and I said, I'd like to put that fight on. And unfortunately, Daniel Dubois pulled out the fight with Nick Webb, which was a shame, really, because he should be fighting for the English title. So Nick Webb's mandatory for the English title, and we've got to find an opponent, but he's in a 6th rounder on Saturday. Then you've got a brilliant fight between Ted Cheeseman and Carson Jones. You've got Reece Bellotti against Ben Jones. You've got Joshua Buatsi, who I just watched it there, mate. It's like poetry watching that guy around the ring. Phenomenal fighter. And then the big one, Chamberlain against Akoli. Where's your money at?
It's a tough one to decide. Like, you knowing both guys, know how diligent they prepare. He's out with Usyk. He's obviously, Akoli's obviously had tremendous backing and amateur pedigree. It's a great fight.
Yeah, look forward to it, mate. Again, thanks for the support for the show, because I couldn't have dreamed in my wildest dreams that it would have become this big. But fantastic. Great job from Sky. Great job from the fighters and our team at Matchroom and you guys and all the media to give these guys the platform and the night that they will remember for the rest of their life. Who's got the cojones to make it happen?
Hopefully it lives up to the billing.
I believe so. I believe so.
Great. Eddie Hearn, thank you very much.
Cheers.